Hi there, everyone. It's Nick here from Unix. Welcome to our AMA with Cradles. I'm here with TY, the founder and CEO of Cradles. TY, say hi to the Unix community.
Hey guys, I'm TY and founder and CEO of Cradles. Really nice to meet you here.
Yeah, likewise. And thank you so much for joining us today. I know you guys are very busy at work trying to get the game up and running, but I guess first, would you like to maybe give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself for our Unix community?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, hey, I'm DY and founder and CEO of Cradles, and I've been getting into this field since 2017, and starting by creating a governance system using blockchain and multi-party computation. It's kind of like a cryptography tool. And then I just got my master's degree in National University of Singapore and spent my last 2 years in Huawei Singapore Research Center and mainly focused on cryptography researchers and for collaborating with them. And for example, I've been digging into different fields, include like homomorphic encryption and multi-party computation and multi-key encryption and those technologies. So I jumped out there and started Cradles at last year's April and just want to create a new world without putting play to earn on the desk, to be honest. But I'm letting the play to earn mechanism to be live in the game, but not on the desk. But just let everyone to have a chance to enjoy the power of Web3 and earn it in a more natural way. So this is me and Cradles. Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, no worries. And look, I think everyone's curious to know the answer to this question. Obviously, a lot of the people that we have AMAs with, usually they don't have a cute picture of a dragon / dinosaur there. But I know that there's some significance around this. Did you want to share a little bit about your little dragon? Little dinosaur.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of like a mascot of our community, and you can see at my profile is a dragon hunter, and the dragon hunter is it's kind of like what you are seeing it seems like something normal, right? But actually, it's backed by a new technology. We call it EIP 3664. It's a new technology. It's more like all-in-one NFT standard that you can do everything within 3664, and you can do combinations, especially for the combinations of different NFTs. Like I got my accessories, I got sunglasses and necklace and earrings. I can easily combine those accessories on my gender. And also those accessories also are NFTs. And also you can do your modifications on the attributes of the NFTs. For instance, you can upgrade your NFTs and you can do whatever you want to doing operations on your NFTs. And since you are using 721 and Nick, you must be familiar with those old stories like the 721 and 5. Those technologies are old stories and they cannot be changeable. They're not changeable for a long time. So when I just developing the whole game, I just started to think about how we can enhancing the power of NFT. I think I believe that it can be the next generation's technology, but we cannot stop on 721. So we just get started to developing the whole new technology. We call it EIP 3664, and now we are creating this dragon hunter, and we are doing mostly job for our dragon hunter holders, and there are free components and the free accessories we are dropping every month to our Cradles community, and this is kind of like a mascot of the whole community. And also, the dragon hunter is also a part of the Cradles. It's not all of it. Actually, we are, to be honest, we are building by using EIP 3664, we are building a new metaverse. We call it Cradles. It's kind of like a AAA open world game. It's more like a metaverse, and it's always it's really different with nowadays other projects. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. I don't know, super interesting. I know that there's a lot of different types of NFTs now. Obviously, it started with ones that were just as is, CryptoPunks, and now there's NFTs now that can evolve, change when you add different parts to the NFT. So
Yeah, once you are seeing those NFTs, they're only changing on the visions, they're only changing on the looks, and instead of the technology behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So actually, it's a very good segue into kind of the team that you brought on behind for this idea. So maybe you could tell us a bit about where the project started. What was the inspiration behind it, and how your whole team came together for this really, really cool project.
Yeah, actually, we started as the last year April, and I just started with a new idea that is, it's not a metaverse. It's more like a concept. The concept is for the time system. Like I was thinking for all the day long, and actually I'm thinking about that how we can construct it a new metaverse. We call it metaverse, right? Metaverse is doing simulations to the real world. So what's the most important part in the real world? Is time, right? Time is the most important features in the real world. No one can stop it, and it's going forward one day by one day. Okay, so how we can simulate the time system on a decentralized way? How we can simulate the time system on blockchain world? So I've been thinking this field for a couple of months, and finally I found this. We can do simulations by using the block time as the real time on the metaverse. For instance, the block time is constructing by all the blocks. The block is continuously adding, and no one can stop it. That's the true time on the metaverse. So coming up with this idea, I can suddenly construct a massive items in the metaverse, like how it can be constructed, or how it can be developed. So I just started my project as soon as possible. I just gathered all my good friends, include Tip and our CTO Tyler, and our game developer Blake, and they are all professionals for nearly 10 years or more. Actually, the Blake got 20 years experience on game field, and Tyler got six years experience on the blockchain side, and his former IBM technology developer. So yeah, we are gathered together and to building another metaverse and to come out with new technologies. So we are our structure is more like a dev labs. It's like we got our technology side innovations, and also we got our metaverse and develop side. So that's the whole thing is coming. So actually the whole thing is coming like this.
That's a really, really interesting concept around time, right? What would you say you've faced many challenges trying to answer this, or exactly what challenges have you faced trying to address this concept of time within the blockchain, and then incorporating it then into a play and earn game?
Yeah, that's a really good one, because I was struggling for the concept. Is even though it's kind of like seems like a simple one, but once you are looking into different metaverses or the games, because like you are looking into NXT, you are looking into from now on, I'm not only talking about the crypto games, but also for the traditional games, right? Okay. So as for the World of Warcraft and different games, you are going to find a certain paradox between them. Like you got your like you got a certain story backgrounds. You are followed by the NPCs and the missions, and you'll find you are experiencing the whole world. You are experiencing the whole stories. But this is not an open world, right? When we are talking about the open world, people the first thing that are coming into the people's mind are the sandbox and the Minecraft and the Decentraland, right? So there are those metaverses have no stories included. And the World of Warcraft and Genshin and so on and so forth, those kind of games are include a strong background and strong stories. How we can balance it? So how we can balance it? And we are once we are looking into metaverse, we will find that we are lacking something. We are lacking something. What is it? Actually, once you are seeing it, how we can distinguish the metaverse with games. So actually, once you are seeing into the real world, that time is the answer. That if you got your decentralized you got your decentralized and unstoppable time system. It's gonna be a metaverse. It's a real universe. But if you don't have your time system, and once the people logging into the game, and it looks the same as the yesterday's looks like yesterday's game is just like a game. It's a game. It's not a metaverse. But once you have the time system, it suddenly becomes a metaverse. So that's why I created Cradles, because I think that I'm doing the right thing. So I will show everyone that how the metaverse will looks like. That's the origin idea of me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's no, that's really good to hear, like your passion, right? And your whole team has a depth of experience behind, well, basically behind you to help that vision come true. So no, I mean, that kind of answers some of the next things I was going to ask anyway, in terms of, you compared yourself to the metaverse such as Sandbox, Decentraland. So where would you say like the outstanding features or the strengths of your project compared to them in terms of the metaverse?
Yeah, I was just doing kind of like a introduction of the whole project and give all the audience to a kind of like a backgrounds of it. Okay, so yeah, we are kind of like a new metaverse with the most advanced NFT technology included. We are actually, as I said before, we are developing a new NFT standard since last year's May, and we call it EIP 364. It's the next generation's all-in-one protocol. So which support NFT combinations, modifications, and different interactions with tokens. That's the most important part. Like we already developed a new mechanism we call staking into NFTs. Like nowadays, you're always staking into pools to get your revenues and APYs. And now actually, you don't do this anymore. You are just doing this. You can staking the tokens into the NFT themselves. Right, you can just empower the NFT by staking your tokens into them. That's the most interesting part. Yeah, and now we already released our product Dragoner. As I said before, it's a part of Cradles as the mascot of our project. And every Dragoner holders can participate into our airdrop events. We will drop free accessories mostly like hats, earrings, and scarves, and people can easily dress up the Dragoners with accessories. So that's the power of EIP 364. So with this feature, we created another new metaverse called Cradles. It's a kind of like a AAA open world game, and people can play a character to enjoy the metaverse. We made a lot of innovations, such as Cradles is the first subscription-based game. We are not requiring the people to hold any kinds of NFTs to get into the game.
Okay.
Yeah, and also it's more like a World of Warcraft is a subscription-based game, and Cradles doesn't sell any kinds of the expensive NFTs. We don't sell crafts. We don't sell anything like this. We don't sell any expensive things. But the NFTs, all the NFTs can be collected and casted in the game. So once you are paying the subscription fee, you can get into this metaverse and do whatever you want, and to collect the most advanced materials and to cast your own NFTs and to sell them to other players. That's the key point. We are not selling those expensive NFTs and making hypes on this. Okay, so yeah, actually, we also created a totally different tokenomics, comparing with the traditional. I would like to say the traditional crypto games include like XE or other kinds of games that are creating like they are more like the only one mechanism, that is the dual token system. Like you got your governance token and also you got your in-game token, and they are separated. And once you are earning, you are earning some mostly the in-game tokens, and you will get some revenues from the governance token. But things are different with Cradles. We got 4 kinds of tokens, and also we are not strictly let our players to focusing on the Cradles token, but we will just build up a new mechanism that we just draw. We don't really care about the NFT prices, because once you are looking into different projects nowadays, especially for the GameFi's, the people are always focusing on the NFTs. right? This is the big difference. This is a big difference between our Cradles and other projects. We are not doing halves on the NFT prices. We only focusing on the tokens. We are adding the most valuable things on the tokens and make the tokens can be able to enhance the NFTs instead of just hyping on the NFT price themselves. Okay, that's the most important part. Yeah, and yeah, also that's all, and that's the project. That's our Cradles project introduction.
Yeah, that's a really good introduction. That's this whole dual token model system that's come out now. You're creating 4 tokens for the game, so that's that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So with that, then maybe you want to speak a little bit about kind of the smart chain or the network that you guys will be launching Cradles on.
Yeah, actually, we're going to do a multi-chain plans. We are not only focusing on one chain, because we are seeing now there are many of the blockchains are starting to doing competitions especially on the metaverse and game field, right? We got Flow, we got Solana and ETH and the layer 2 solutions and so on and so forth. So we are focusing on multi-chains, but our tokens we will be first launching on Ethereum, and then we will just deploy our tokens on Binance Chain and Polygon. And actually, since we are EIP 364, so we can support it every kinds of like Ethereum-based chains, like Binance Chain, like Optimism, like Arbitrum, and so on and so forth. Yeah, we are doing a kind of like a multi-chain plan, but first we'll be launching on Ethereum. Hi, Nick. Hi, Nick. Yeah, let's just wait for him. Yeah, let's just wait for him. Yeah, seems Nick lost his connection. It's not me, right? Okay. Okay, got it. Yeah, please tell everyone that we got some problems on the streaming, and to let everyone to get notice of this.
You've been good to me.
Okay, and we are back. Apologies to the community for that, but look, there's some funky music that plays when the standby screen is on. So hopefully that's a bit of fun. Let's continue with,
Yeah.
yes, again, TY, we did want to go a bit more in depth into the game. I know that you mentioned before that it's subscription based, right? And you're not focused on the NFT. So does that mean that the it's not exactly free to play, is it? So people will have to buy a subscription to play Cradles, and then the characters in game, they might not be pricey, but you still need to have an NFT of some sort. Is that correct?
No, actually, this part is quite interesting. Like, it's digestible. Like, if you hold a large amount of the Cradles coins, like if you got a large amount of the Cradles coin, you can staking those Cradles coin into the pool for some crystal revenues. The in-game to crystals, the in-game tokens, we call it crystal. So you are using the crystals to buy your game time and doing subscriptions on the game. So if you are holding a large amount of the Cradles coin, you can free to play this game. And if you are just somehow random players and you are jumping into this game, you found it really interesting, you just want to have fun into it, and you just want to you just want to play it for a while, you just go to the market and buy some crystals and to subscribe our game, and then you can having fun in the game. And once you run out of your game time, you cannot move, and you will just forced to offline. So yeah, that's the whole thing. But if you are a big fan of us, you can free to play. But if you are some random player, you need to pay some small bucks.
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So would you be able to give an idea of how much it would be for someone to start playing Cradles?
Yeah, actually, I think that it won't take us a lot of money. Like as the previous game fights, you need to buy a large amount of NFTs to get into the game, especially for the expensive NFTs. But since you can just directly buy the Cradles tokens and to get into the game and staking the Cradles tokens into our pool. And actually, I would like to say that so far I cannot telling you that the price you're gonna pay.
That's okay.
Yeah, because we haven't released our tokens yet. But yeah, you will soon know that's because we're gonna do our TGE by next month or April, because we are creating a new kind of like a TGE plan. We are not doing boring IDOs. It's kind of like old styles. We don't do that, but yeah, you will see.
Really taking GameFi 2.0 to the next level, right? Putting a fresh spin on it. No, that's cool. So in terms of like the actual gameplay itself, and I guess any game modes that are within it. So obviously you have like Axie Infinity, right, where they had land gameplay, which is not released yet, but it's due to come out, and that's more of a in their version like an open world. You can mine resources and play mini games and develop on these lands. And they've also got currently, which is like an arena mode, right, which is more PvP based. Do you have anything similar to that, or how are you expecting to roll it out? Like just one big metaverse at one time, or is there sort of game modes that will be essentially an alpha of the game first that comes out?
No, actually, it's kind of like a quite open world. We call it the open world because you can do everything you want in the game. It's not about the hunting. Of course, because it's kind of like a Jurassic and prehistorical thing, you can do whatever you want. Like hunting, especially, is the most exciting part. But actually, if you want to do like blacksmith or something like interesting part, you can do whatever you want. You can just having collecting those materials. You can draw into create those metaverse and complete the missions. We got battle missions, and we got the like live missions, and you can hunting in the wilderness and collect spoils, include tokens, NFTs, and properties. And also since we got 364, actually all the items in the game should be NFTs. Like we don't really do centralized games like nowadays. So people are always blaming that all the games is announcing like this centralized game, but actually all the items in the game is kind of like centralized. We are having our new standard, so we are doing everything in NFTs. So all the spoils in the game can be converted into tokens and recorded on chain. That's the most interesting part. And yeah, and also we are not only focusing on the battlefield, right? Because that they are not only like we are not only having the male players. We do have female players, and they may not be very good at battles or the PvPs. So I would like to suggest they can focusing on the life experience in the metaverse. You can treat it like a decentralized or kind of like a platform that everyone is talking with each other on this platform, and it's more like a metaverse, and you can do everything you want. If you don't battle, it's okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think that's quite open and friendly to a lot of people, especially people who aren't gamers, but they want to experience a metaverse that's set up with dinosaurs and and everything else.
Yeah, and also that thing to mention that is we are a kind of like a time evolving system. Which means that we are not stopping in the prehistorical scene. Once all the we got different city states in the cradles, and once all the city states has finished certain missions, we call the world missions, and all the city states has reached certain levels and got some different requirements, we will announce that the whole game are getting into the next civilization, which is
okay, that's cool.
Which is kind of like more like a civilization, but it's more like an MMO version. So actually, it's kind of like from the prehistorical version, from the prehistorical sim to the World War II or World War I sim, and then going to the modern world, and then going to the future. That's kind of like we call it time evolving system. That's it.
Oh, okay. So that's the way that you have found to conceptualize this.
Yeah, right. That's the real world. That's the real world.
Oh, that would be very interesting to see. I don't think anyone else has done that for sure.
Because that what you are doing, once you are making games, you want to make the game to be fun and to be good to play, and the second part you need to think about how the tokenomics is and how we can collaborate with blockchains. That's a part. Instead of that, the people nowadays only doing copycats from the traditional part, they are copying traditional games and they are trying to squeeze some tokenomic into this traditional game and to make it more like a Ponzi scheme. But actually now we don't do this. We are putting our gameplays as the first priority.
Okay, well that's very interesting for guilds like us. And look, obviously we started off with Axie, which had the scholarship model, and our guild members are a lot like that. However, we also have a lot of members who are just gamers at heart, and they just want to be part of a guild that's expanding in the metaverse, as well as traditional gaming. So I think that is there some sort of a model that could work with scholarships, or is this
course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Actually, I would like to say that's the most interesting part for the token usages. Actually, I think I want to put the token usage part and the scholarship part together, as I'm trying to illustrate how it works. Okay, so actually for the tokens, you can hold a large amount of tokens to staking into NFTs, as I said before, is the most important features we have. So actually, you can have a large amount of tokens and you can stake into NFTs. And once you are hunting in the wild, you got your revenues, and the revenues depends on how much tokens you are staking into this weapon. That's the most interesting part. So once you are at a very early stage of the whole game, like you got your level 1 character, you are hunting in the wild. Actually, you only need a small number of the tokens. If you don't have tokens, it's okay. You can play it. You can play it by having no tokens. Okay. So, but if you got your own tokens, if you got your Cradles tokens, you will get more profits on it. And at a lower stage, at lower levels, it only requires a small size of the tokens. But once you are upgrading and leveling up, you will see that you will need a large amount of tokens to insert or staking into your NFTs. You cannot do it by yourself, but now actually the guilds are coming out. Actually, especially this pattern are working for not only for the guilds but also for the streamers. Like imagine that you are a guild and you hold a large amount of the Cradles tokens, and you can rent the tokens and you can staking your tokens to other people's weapons, to the most advanced players' weapons, and you can let them to hunting for you and get revenues for you. You will get a percentage of the revenues because you are staking. Yeah, you are staking. Yeah, you are staking tokens into their weapons. So you obviously you will get a large amount of tokens are receiving by the hunting events or the hunting abilities. So that's the main part. And also as for the streamer parts, imagine that you got your experienced player, you got the most advanced players that they are playing very well. They can hunting the most they can hunting the most dangerous animals, and they don't have money, they don't have tokens for staking into their weapons. So what they can do, they can holding streams. They can streaming on their website. They can streaming on your website, and they can be a streamer and to let others to staking their tokens into the streamers' weapons or the properties. That will that will coming out a new mechanism.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we are not only focusing on the the stakings and staking to earn or something like this. It's kind of like GameFi. We are more like you can staking into this. You can staking into everything, of course. But the players need to play and hunt, and also the streamers need to stream and show the power of them, and to show the power of them, then to the great skills to their audience, to let them know that I'm good at huntings. So if you are sticking to me, you will definitely get your profits. That's the whole thing how it works.
That is a really unique idea. And I think our community as gamers, right? If everyone, we have a lot of streamers for Unix, for example, and that concept is kind of like, with Twitch, how they give donations and things. Instead of doing that, you could actually stake your token into your favorite streamer's weapons.
And
earn off them.
Yeah, you are the contributor of this. If you are a big fan of this streamer, you are the most advanced. You are the supporter. You are the biggest supporter for your streamer. That's the most interesting part. And also, this part can be combined into scholarship part. So that's why we are collaborating with different guilds. Yeah.
Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense now. Going back to what you said at the start around the more you contribute and the more tokens you hold, you can essentially play the game for free, because maybe you're holding these tokens and staking it into your favorite streamer, your favorite guild, right? But I guess in that way, would there ever be like a power imbalance at all? Let's say that you had someone like Shroud or Ninja or Dr. Disrespect, for example, that wanted to play your game, and they've got hundreds of thousands of followers, a bunch of people just staked into the items. Would that make in any way like a power imbalance, or there would be a limit to each item, right?
Yeah, there will be a certain limit on staking into each items, because we cannot let everyone can staking a large amount of tokens into like actually the bounded the upper bound is depends on the weapons levels and the properties levels. If you got your low level weapons, you can only stake a small amount of the tokens into these weapons, and that's a maximum amount of that how you can stake into this. But if you got your higher level weapons, I would like to suggest that you can be a streamer, and you can do everything you want to collect other people's crystal coins to stake into your weapons, because only by one people you cannot make this, because it requires a large amount of tokens to stake into this weapon to reach the upper bound. So yeah.
And I think that flows really nicely into, I know we briefly touched on the tokenomics before, but after hearing this, maybe you could give an idea around how the tokenomics work. And, this is the utility of the token they can stake into items, but would there be any burning mechanisms that's integrated into the game, or how would that work? Or is it more through the governance model that you have inside the game?
Yeah, actually, we are more like a DAO game instead of like other kinds of games. Is more like traditional games. They are just hiding behind and to developing other things and to do not interact with the communities. And actually, we are always listening to our community, and we are always be here with our community, and we are we are asking them if they want what kind of like NPCs or the characters or the stories. Actually, we are going to have a contest and to have some events on in the community, and to let the community to choose which is his best, which is the best NPC they like, and what kind of animals they want to put into the game. So that's the most interesting part. And once you are holding our Cradles coin, I would like I would more prefer to call it as a kind of like it's not a governance token, it's more like a DAO token. We are not only doing things like to governance the whole game. We are using Cradles coin to do everything, right? As you already heard that we can stake in Cradles coin into the weapons. We can also stake into pools, and we can also using Cradles coin to making governances. Like you can vote for different events. You can vote for the updates in the game. So that's multiple usages among all the events. And also, we got different levels of in-game tokens. We got the crystals, and you can once you are subscribe our game, you can maintain crystals in our game. And also the crystals, we got 3 levels crystals, and each levels will mapping to certain levels of the character. Once you are at a low level character, you got a level 1 character, you may only need to use the energy crystal. We got the first very basic one. We got energy crystal and hyper crystal and the legendary crystal. And there are certain ratio on the exchange rate, because that 100 there's a fixed one that 100 energy crystal can be cased into 1 hyper crystal, and 100 hyper crystal can be cased into 1 legendary crystal. And the reason why we do this, just because that we are encouraging people to more focusing on the gameplays and more focusing on the crystal usages in the game. And that's the most important part is from the in-game tokens, we are doing things more like the traditional games. Like if you don't have any knowledge on the crypto side, right? Because that's the main reason we don't announcing us as a play to earn game. We do have the earn mechanism, but we don't put it on the desk. We just tell you it's an interesting game, and we are focusing on the traditional communities and the game communities. So that's the most important part, that we can let the traditional gamers can get into Cradles easily. Once you are looking into the Cradles crystal mechanism, you will see that I'm familiar with this. It's a kind of like traditional way. But once the crypto gamers getting into this field, getting into Cradles, they will see, I'm also familiar with this mechanism. So that's we are attracting both sides of the gamers. That's the most interesting part.
Yeah, and I think along with that, it just seems like you can stake your tokens in anything, right? From weapons to armor.
Yeah.
Maybe even like land. You have land. I assume some sort of land NFTs that people are able to acquire. and I guess buildings on these lands? So if you were a blacksmith, for example,
Yeah,
you'd get an
actually,
armory, right?
yeah, we don't have houses and the lands, but we don't really want to sell. We don't really want to sell them at a very early stage because that it's kind of like to be honest, somehow it's kind of like fundraising things. But we will do it mainly in the game and to letting the most advanced gamers to have it. If you are a streamer, yeah, if you are
committed,
streamer, yeah, we are prepared all the lands and the houses for the community. If you are a streamer and if you are contributing to our game, we will just arrange this house and the lands to you. You don't need to pay a lot of you don't need to pay a lot for expensive lands because as I always told to our communities, the lands is not illusories because that how to say that once you are building a metaverse, you can creating multiple lands by only using 1 second. So it's not illusory and it's unlimited. But we are doing this only because that it has a certain usages in the game. It can help you to recover your strengths very fast, the lands and the houses, and also you can rent the houses to others for them to like you can hold your hostel by using this land for the houses and to just make profits once the adventurers are coming into your houses, into your hostel, and to take a rest, and you can have your profits. That's a kind of like a commercial usages. So yeah, we don't really want to make it really expensive, but we want to reward it as a gift for our streamers and the players. That's it.
Yeah, that's really, really good. The only reason I think that method is beneficial because if you've got this time system, right, and everything's ever evolving, maybe some concerns from the community is if they bought land, if they bought a building, and it's a prehistoric age, what would they look like in World War II? You know, would they still have that? Would it still have any value because it's the next iteration of the game? But I mean, if someone bought a house, then it just evolves throughout the ages, which is kind of a nice feature, to be honest. It's kind of fresh.
Actually, it's kind of like it's quite interesting because that we are still considering on how we can make the houses can be held by the owners of the houses as a permanent way. So actually, we are still discussing about it. Like we are, actually, we are refreshing everything on the lands once we are coming into the World War I scheme, and actually everything will changing, and especially for the looks of the buildings, right? You cannot hold the prehistorical looks in and getting into the modern world, right? So actually, we are. It's more like opening a new world and close the old world. And now we are still designing on this, and since the developing is going, so I think that we will coming out this mechanism soon. And
nice.
We will definitely reward our gamers, and especially for the contributors. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, thank you for that. And I guess the something that we always like to know is kind of your short-term vision and goals versus your long-term visions and goals for Cradles.
Yeah, actually, as for the short-term goals and the long-term goals, I think that now we only focusing on the long-term goals. That is how to make a successful metaverse and to let everyone knows that nowadays tokenomics need a kind of like a huge update, and we need to solve the paradox that I was telling this paradox that the NFT price is blocking the new users to come into the game. Like if you are early holders of the
it's very true.
Yeah, if you are early holder of the some games NFTs, you will get benefits. You will definitely have got your benefits from the NFT prices, but the NFT prices somehow will block the new users to come into the game. So how we can solve this paradox? That's a long-term strategy that we are aiming to let everyone to know that we are not a sharing project. We don't hyping on the NFTs prices. we don't do everything that we are hyping on the NFT prices, and we are doing one-time shot. We aren't do this, but we are more focusing on the long term. We don't quite do focusing on the short terms. But as for the short term goals, we are preparing for our main game test, and also as for our mini game test. Actually, I may missed one thing, that is Cradles is constructed by three parts. The first part is our new technology we call EIP 3664 and our Dragoner. And the second part is the main game we call it Cradles. It's a AAA game with a prehistorical theme, and it's an open world. And the third part, we also offer a massive amount of the mini games. And once you are holding Dragoners NFTs, you can get into these different mini games. And we also doing mini games as high quality games, and it's mainly on your mobile, and you can play it. Actually, it's all the things are high quality, and we already dropped some leaks in our community to show our fans that how the game looks like. But now we are already testing on our first mini game. We call it no fishing. That there are a bunch of the Dragoners, and there's a kind of group battles. That's 2 versus 6, and there are 2 watchers, there are 2 watchmen, and 6 Dragoners. And the Dragoners will be going into around the poles and to fishings, and the watchman's aim is to catch them for a purpose. And it's kind of like a really interesting mini game, and it's going to be launching on Google Play and iOS system and Android system. Yeah, and also we are still preparing for this, and now we are doing test internal the team, and we will soon coming out our alpha version soon, maybe by this month. Maybe by this month. Yeah, we are already testing on this.
Oh, nice. So iOS, Android, we might have something that comes from the Cradles quite soon then.
Yeah. Actually, everything is coming out very fast. Yeah, everything is coming very fast.
Yeah, all right. That's so everyone get excited for that. And I think TY was actually kind enough to let our Unix community have a look at some extra footage, some additional footage not yet released. Obviously, we won't have it on this stream right now, but once this stream goes live onto YouTube, into the channel, I think maybe TY, we might put that at the front or the end. Completely up to you if you want to have it there. But I think having a little bit of a teaser trailer, a sneak peek would be very cool. Now, in terms of the project itself, your focus on development, can we kind of expect Cradles to? I know you said that you'll be launching it sometime in March, April, but like the complete game, I know it's ever going to be ever developing, but I didn't get to ask, was it an alpha or something that's coming out in March or April, or is that kind of a beta now?
Middle of this year. Yeah,
middle of this year. Okay, yeah. All right, no worries. That makes a lot of sense. So what we might go into right now is we have a few questions here, I believe, from the community, if you've got some time. To go through some questions. Yeah, sure. So from Shane Surin, does a subscription go into any other denominations, like for 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months? Okay, so like subscription packages.
Actually, the subscription packages is actually it's kind of like a short time period. It's more like a half month subscription or 1 week subscription, because we don't really want our players to get into the game and to find, oh, this game is shit and I can't quit, and they are just keeping blaming on us. Actually, once you are starting your you're starting with your free trial, and you are starting with the minimal subscription pack, you will be attracted by the whole game. So you will I would like to promise that you will definitely subscribe for a long term. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Another one from RTZ Xing. So interesting. If mostly everything in the game would be NFTs, what would happen if those spoils, etc., would flood the market in time? Presumably, there would be utilities.
Yeah, actually, we are still discussing about the functions in the game. Like all the items can be NFTs, and I will let our players to choose whether you want your NFTs can be real time to be NFTs, or you need to update all the items to NFTs at one time. Like actually, we should offer this function, but use it or not use it, you decide. So actually, it's kind of like all the spoilers and the spoils and in the game can be transferred into NFTs for one time, and it can be shown in the market and actually in real time. But actually, once again, I would like to say that all the players, and you may be familiar with the traditional gameplays like. You got your own marketplace, you got a marketplace, and you can trading on the marketplaces. But actually, once you are already in the game, so why not just trading into the game? Just trading in the game. We got the marketplace, and we in the game, and also we got different buildings that you can get into. You can just straightly stepping into this place and to do tradings with different players, and the tradings. Once you are doing tradings in our game, instead of the website, there's no fees, there's no cost. So actually, this kind of like we are encouraging people to doing things all in the game instead of you just going into the website and then return to the game. It's not that good for interactions. To be honest, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that, and with this time concept, you might not be able to get things that were in the prehistoric stage of the metaverse. So it could go up in rarity, right? Kind of like a collectible. So yeah, very interesting as well. From John McNeil Vargas, what are the strengths and weaknesses of using real-world time resource in Cradles?
I beg your pardon. What's the problem?
So what are the strengths and weaknesses of using real-world time as a resource in Cradles? So I think it's.
Let me think about it. I think that he's asking that why we are using a kind of like a block time to simulate the real time instead of just directly using the real time, real world time. Actually, the very first thing is we are Web3, right? We are Web3, and we are all the crypto world. That people actually we got different infrastructures, like we got cloud from Google and Amazon. So why we need another network for the blockchains, why we need smart contracts? It's mainly because it's decentralized and is kind of unstoppable and unchangeable. No, I think that the most important part is the time system cannot be stopped by one person. So if I'm using a real world system, like we are just doing we are just programming the time into the game. Actually, we can modify it. We can easily change the weathers, we can easily change the times. But if we are using block times, no one can stop it. That's the spirit of the Web3. Instead of just we are announcing that, oh, it's midnight, it's day night, it's daytime, it's midnight. It doesn't make sense for the Web3s.
Okay, yeah. I hope that answered your question there, John. The next is from Daria D. Can you give me more information about the community governance DAO?
Yeah, as for the community governance, we are holding different events, especially for the nowadays, since we haven't released our tokens, we are more focusing on the Jaggers. If you are holding Jaggers, you can collect different components daily, no, sorry, monthly, and you can get our giveaways, and you can decorate your dragoners and freely. And also, as for the Cradles governance tokens, I think I already mentioned that you can staking into different places. You can stake into pools and NFTs, and then the most important part, you can staking. You can just using for votings. You can always once you are holding a large amount of it, you can just voting for different we so-called different events, like the updatings, like how we choose the characters or the characters printings. Because once we finish the printing choose, we need to then we can go into the modeling side. So we can let the players to choose the printings and also the modelings, and it's all relying on the tokens governances. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And also as for a more important thing, that we can letting the players, we can letting the Cradles coins holders to choose whether to remain this mission or drop it, or we can create new missions for the for some reasons. For instance, if we found that the dragon bones, the material dragon bones is it has a large amount, is kind of like a exposing. So how we can deal with it? We can just hold it. We can just open a new mission for reduce the numbers of the dragon bones, and we will drop the events into our community, and the Cradles coins holders can voting for this event, and then we can decide on how we can deal with the missions. Yeah, we got different ways for dealing with the governance part, because we have multiple ways for burning the Cradles coins and also for the votings. And we are a totally community game. We are not doing hype, since you are finding now is we are such a high quality game, but we don't really doing hypes on every aspect. We are just doing our own things, and we are just keeping developing. Yeah,
that's good. So it's a game built by the gamers. So when we start, I think Unix would be very interested to have a position in Cradles for the long run. I think that our community would love this. And like you said, one of the barriers to entry were the NFTs and the price of them themselves. So if you guys are answering this with Cradles, then I think it would be very good for a lot of our members too. Another one from RTZ Xing. Since it's still in discussion about the time evolution, any thoughts of having negative penalties? And like the host said about the value appreciating, there is also a chance it may depreciate.
Yeah, actually, the negative punishings, actually, yes, we do have some negative punishings, and also it's all for the game designs. Actually, this is a very deep question, and yeah, we do have, like, we are blocking the bots from coming to this game. But actually nowadays, I found that many other projects many other games cannot block the bots to come into this game and to making profits as a very, very fast way. So what we are doing, like, you can battle in the ground, you can battle in the world, and once you are finding the boss are just collecting a large amount of materials, you can just kill him. You can just kill him and gather revenues from him. Actually, this is the simplest way for dealing with this question and the issues. So actually, we got different designs, and we thanks to the crypto, we can do some really interesting designs comparing with the traditional ones. We are not blocking the bot users. We are just encouraging the people to kill them. We are encouraging the people to just hunting them, to hunting the bots. That's the most important part.
Hunting
yeah,
the bots.
I think that's a
It's
kind
true,
of like
though.
the next punishments.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's kind of interesting. And this might be telling me a bit about my age, but when I played RuneScape, right, back in the day, and you went into the wild,
Yeah.
and if you got killed by someone, you dropped all your loot. So
Yeah.
just maybe an open discussion here. You can do that in Cradle. So if you kill a bot, you can take their items. Does that mean that if you're a streamer on stream, and let's say someone's stream sniping you, or there's a guild that's coming after you, if they can they take your weapons, and then those weapons that have other people's tokens staked on it, can someone else use that?
Yeah, we are very we are very cautiously on this part, because we are because it's really really helps a lot if you are losing your weapons. It's really tricky, and we are doing trade-offs, but actually we are only focusing on the loots and the spoils, and instead of the weapons. But once you are killing a large amount of persons, like we call it, you got your random names, you will get you will be pointed as warning. So once you got your red names, you will have a probability to drop your weapons because you deserve it.
Okay. Yeah, right. No, that makes a lot of sense. And if you are going into the red zones, well, like you should be pretty strong. Or be a big streamer, right?
Actually, this will bring a lot of fans, because nowadays there's no kind of the native tokenomic designs for the streamers. Especially now people are always focusing on the dual token system, and that's kind of like all the stories. There's no interactions with the streamers, but once you have our tokenomic, you can staking your tokens to your favorite streamers. That's the most interesting.
I think it's still good though, with the whole model we have with NFTs and not having it too expensive for this very reason, right? So it's very friendly, and if anything does happen, I'm sure that the way that Cradles is being built, you can just get straight back into the game. But I think as gamers, this is kind of, we like that risk of losing everything. I think no, we're not gamblers. It's just as gamers. Interesting part. So another one from actually, we're going to some comments here. So Big V12 says, "Love the concept. Staking into a streamer, nice." So no, I really like that concept as well. Prodigy Jackson. Makes sense, since a lot of traditional gamers in the present hate the idea of NFTs and correlate them to painting digital art instead. Very true. I've heard that a fair bit now. I think it's kind of the barrier to entry because of the price. I've got a couple more here, but I'll save them to the end. But from Amir MSV, what happens if our NFT dragons die?
What you are mean that your NFT dragons, this means your pets or the monsters I'm thinking about. Okay, anyways, I will just illustrate in two ways. If your pets are dying, you can, as I mentioned, if you are doing subscriptions, if you already subscribed into this game, you can collect the materials to recover and to reborn your pets. And once you are talking about the monsters, once you got your dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs are in the wilderness, and you killing a large amount of dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs has died, or we call it the extinct, then the dinosaurs won't coming back. That's the most real world. That's the most important thing. That is, we are simulating to the real world. And if you are causing some species extincted, so actually this kind of animals will not coming back, and coming with the NFTs. And I think that there are dinosaur bones, and you are killing like a dinosaur rock. I cannot really tell the dinosaur's names, but if you are killing some like animals, you won't. If this animal is extinct, you cannot get any kinds of the NFTs related to this animal. Yeah, that's true. So actually,
that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, with the extinction, actually you are fixed on the NFTs numbers. So that's the way we deal with the NFTs. So Actually, our community members are always asking that there are certain people are asking about is it NFT price? Is it NFT numbers is fixed or unlimited? I would like to say that there's a kind of like assumptions that how we can define a limited and unlimited. That if you are using toothbrush and you will find that this toothbrush will be there's one day that this toothbrush is disappear. So is this toothbrush unlimited or limited? So we cannot define an item to be unlimited. It's always limited. There's always limited numbers, and the numbers will be fixed once these items will not be produced anymore. So actually, the same rules are using on the monsters, I would like to say.
Yeah, that's I like that. That opens up kind of different mechanics within breeding, right? So can you be a breeder within this game? Okay, so let's say that you could breed, I don't know, a certain type of monster or animal, and that produces a certain NFT. You could kind of create your own marketplace, right? If this certain animal or monster is very popular, but then you're a breeder or a farmer for that, you can actually make a lot of.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. So it's really up to the gamers how long they want to stay in a certain age, right? Because if everything's extinct, the community will just go, okay, we're ready for the next one.
That's I'm always talking about that. Once you are going deeper in the whole mechanism, you will find that we will never block the new users to come into the game, because we are continuously attracting the users to come into this game. Because that if you are missing out at this age will never coming back, and you will lose the chance to get this age's NFTs. So that's kind of like a new mechanism, instead of just with NFTs prices going higher and you are afraid of playing this game. It's not that story. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah. Okay, so another one from John McNeil Vargas. Does the weapons in the game, will they only be limited to Stone Age weapons, or will also... Oh, okay, sorry. So do the weapons in the game are only limited to the Stone Age weapons, or will it also use far more advanced technology or even fantasy items to hunt other entities or monsters?
Yeah, actually, we got different weapons for you to be familiar with. And if your character are familiar with swords, let's say, and you can use this sword to hunting high level monsters. And if you are more familiar with the farmings, like you are doing blacksmiths or you are doing carpenters, and actually for these skills, you can use another weapon, like you can use your axe, you can use your any kinds of weapons is acceptable, and you can get different weapons and you can upgrade for it. But if you are changing into different weapons, you need to start from zero. So actually, if you are familiar with the sword, you are a sword master. But if you are not familiar with the axe, you need to familiar with the axe, then you can do somehow do farmings. You can collect the woods. You can do everything with the axe, and you need to familiar with this. And this mechanism is actually, again, I would like to say it's more like a real world. Like you are familiar with one thing that you are not familiar with another thing. So you need a lot of practice on this.
We didn't get to go too much into this actually in the core, but in terms of classes, does that mean that your character can be proficient in any class? Do you have to select one class, or do you have to have multiple characters?
Yeah, you can be professional. You can be professional in multiple weapons, especially for the weapons. Yeah, because you are using, we call all the things, we call all the use tools for the weapons is axe and the swords and the knives are all weapons. So actually you can be familiar with all the weapons. Once you are paying your time on on this, you can have your skills, of course.
Right. Okay. That's good. That's good to know. From Tonton, what will your prediction with this project in the next 5 years to 10 years? Oh, okay. So yeah, what is your prediction for Cradles in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I would like to say that running a game into 5 or 2 years in traditional game field is really hard. That nowadays we will see that if we are seeing that the 10 years ago's game, that only 2 or 3 games are existing now, and the rest of them already disappeared. So yeah, like I give some examples like Maple Story or World of Warcraft 2,
Yeah.
World of Warcraft 3, and the Starcrafts, and those high quality games. And also that's the most interesting part. Once you are seeing that you cannot only focusing on the hypes, right? You cannot only focusing on the NFT hypes. That will only make this game too famous by a certain time period, and then the whole things will drop and crash. So if we are focusing, we are kind of like a DAO game. We are not only just focusing on a short term. So we are at first we are doing a 5 to 10 years project. We are not dropping it. Actually, that's why we didn't do any hypes on the NFTs or the tokenomics. If we want to do a short term, we want to do a short period project, we just using the dual token system. It runs very well, and it can collect a lot of money, and it definitely can make us rich. But we can do this because we need to take responsibilities to our players and the users. And our aim is to bring the new technologies into the game field, and especially for the metaverse. And if someday that we found that we don't have this ability to bring the new technologies into the community or the Web3 world, we will just be sorry for the players, and we would like to discuss with them if they are supporting us as well. But since now we have the ability to make Cradles better, to make metaverse better, we will put all our efforts onto making this project to run for a long way. And we are keeping updating everything, because we are not only having this prehistorical world, we are having a modern world, we are having different metaverses and marketplaces in the game. So this is going to be a huge world, and I think that we can definitely have the potential to run it for a 10-year period. But I'm not really for now, I cannot say that we definitely can do this, but we will put all our efforts on this.
Yeah, and I think the whole team behind you is just as passionate, even just to create the tech behind this game and to sort of bring in the next, maybe we're in GameFi 2.0, but you're in GameFi 10.0 right now, right? Yeah, the ideas you have with your team, I think they really could change the landscape of gaming. So the next question is from Cosmetics and Cryomed SP. How much is a Dragon Tar?
Actually, unlimited. I would like to say that we are randomly open our mint on our website. Once you are clicking into our Dragon Club, you will see that the website is the website is on let me check. Okay, www.cradles.io. And you can check on this, and actually, you will see a subdomain. It's called Dragonair Club, and also you can mint there. But now we are close on the mint. But now we are more focusing on the component side. We are enriching the whole component ecosystem. And if you want to buy some Dragoners, you can go to Tofu NFT for buy some.
Yeah. There you go, guys. So now we've got the last two questions, if that's okay. So we'll go two last questions and two last comments. And we'll go with the comments first. So from Daria D, can I get 5 hearts? You can have 5 hearts from TY.
Yeah.
And from Unity X, decentralization is the future. So I think everyone here really supports what Cradles is bringing to GameFi, which is very, very cool. All right, now the last two questions. One from Joe, actually two from Joe Smith. Sorry. Game looks amazing. Sorry if it's been covered, but when will this Cradles launch? Are you waiting for a certain BTC stability price, or have you got a date in mind? Come hell or high water. Yeah. Okay. So maybe if you can just reiterate the launch dates for Cradles TY. And then,
yeah, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think for the launch date, I think he's asking for the tokens or the games, but yeah, the tokens will launching hopefully by next month because we need to make everything ready. Then we need to then we launch the tokens. And as for the game itself, it will be a alpha version by the mid of this year. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the second question from Joe Smith. Finally, could you describe the dopamine loop that you envision your players getting into? What sense of growth will they experience by playing the game? Good question. Interesting.
I beg your pardon. What's the question?
Yeah, it's a different one. So finally, could you describe the dopamine loop that you envision your players getting into? What sense of growth will they experience by playing the game? So I guess what will make players come back for more besides the evolution?
Yeah, actually, we got different game partners. We do have a different game partners. You can play as any kind of characters. You can play any kinds of state like this. You can experience on different skills, and also we got different city states. And now we are starting with our main city. We call it Curviton. The Curviton city is the biggest city in the whole thing, in the whole metaverse. In the whole Cradles metaverse. So actually, you are starting from the we call it novice village, and you are coming out from novice village and to going into different city states and to experience all the kinds of skills. And if you want to learn some special words, if you want to learn some special weapon skills, you need to get into different places and to find the special NPCs for learning skills. And we got different experience, and the people I would like to say the players will enjoy the whole things. And yeah, actually, it's more like it's not about the experience. It's about it's Cradles are fun to play. I would like to say it's really interesting because that we are putting the funds in the game to be the first priority instead of just making a Ponzi scheme and to making up all the tokenomics to be ready. But yeah, that's the style we are doing things. Yeah, so actually, I don't really think that it's really important to making some like the loops, but we are more focusing on the whole things. I would like to say, if you are talking about loops, the loop is from the circle started from the tokenomic, and then the play to have fun, and fun to have and fun to earn, and then you will earn your tokens and your payback to your games. And also once you are you are leveling up, and you will put more tokens into this game. So this is a kind of loop we call it.
Yeah, and I think that it's going to have really good longevity in terms of a community, right? I mean, for myself as a gamer, if I started off at the very first age and you're getting these new skills and new items, but then by the time you move on to the next age, there's a new set of skills and a new set of items, but you keep the old ones. Right. So it's going to be unique from age to age. So if you're answering the FOMO part of it, I think you've got us, right? The gamers, we don't want to miss out on anything.
That's why we didn't block the new users. Instead of this, we are training new users, and also we are putting every values on our tokens instead of the NFT prices.
Yeah. And Joe Smith also said, "Yep, I was referring to the IDO. Hopefully on Unix's launchpad." Thanks.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
But we need to make everything ready. To be honest, actually, we don't really want to launching our tokens in a hurry because we need to, as I said before, we need to take responsibilities for our community. So yeah, we will just happy to have you to support our game. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Right, so last question from Big V12. Will NFT launch come shortly after coin launch?
Yeah, actually, as for the NFTs, we don't sell any kinds of NFTs, but actually, once we do have some NFT sales in the game, it will be coming up with the players sellings instead of the token, instead of us instead of the official team are selling the NFTs. Yeah, especially for the in-game items in Cradles, the Dragon is not included because it's a mascot of our community. Actually, we want everyone to enjoy the power of our new technology, the EIP 364.
Yeah, all right. Very. Thank you so much for that, TY. And for answering all those questions. You have a lot of questions from the community. I think they are all looking forward to it. I know we are, and to starting off Unix gaming somewhere in this space. Now we have what we want to do, everyone, was we want to select some winners of a giveaway by TY and Cradles. So 5 random winners we will select pretty much now. I think Remy, thank you. A little nice spin wheel here. All right, so here you go. We've got, these are for the people that asked the questions, by the way. So thank you for everyone asking questions and for participating. TZ Xing, we have a winner. So all you have to do is contact friends. You can see his Discord on the screen there, so make sure you write that down. And in the Unix Discord, you will find out, you can message him directly and get everything sorted in terms of a wallet. Right, and Daria D, congratulations on getting chosen by the spin wheel. Oh, this is new. We have a spin wheel that gets smaller. I like it. Makes sense. Shane Surin, thank you for asking a question. And we have 4th winner of tonight, Cosmetics and Cryo. Thank you for asking your questions. I hope that everyone had all of their questions answered, actually. I know that there's a good chance, TY, if you're happy to get on another AMA with us in the Unix community in future, I think we'd love to have you back and just see the updates. And John McNeil Vargas, congratulations to our 5 lucky winners. Thank you, everyone, for asking your questions. But yeah, TY, would you be happy to get on another AMA in future?
Yeah, sure. Actually, really thanks for this time, and thanks, Nick. And I'm really happy to have an AMA, and once we got any kinds of updates. Yeah,
no, for sure. And if you could maybe just let the winners know what the giveaway was from Cradles, just as a thank you for the questions and attending.
We will give away since we don't have our token release, so actually we're gonna give away $100 giveaways for all the winners. Congratulations.
Thank you for that. And I think next time when we have the AMA, guys, hopefully it's after the the AMA, we will be able to see maybe there's some tokens there that we can get you guys into Cradles. So yeah, thank you
that's-
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. Yeah,
No
thanks
worries. Thanks, TY. And thanks everyone
yeah,
for
thanks
joining the community.
Yeah.
So we'll speak soon, and please see us on the next AMA. Bye.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, buddy. Bye, guys.